very, very quickly, a little bit about me. My name is Debbie Drum. I have been marketing online since 2010, and I currently make a full-time living creating and marketing awesome content. I work from home. I don't have to commute. I used to have to commute all the time. I used to have to travel for a living. I absolutely hated it. And creating content was my ticket to freedom. Okay. And that all started in 2010. And I've published over 50 books under various different pen names. Most of these days, I am creating products and software and just helping other authors and publishers get that financial freedom that they so desire, okay? To work for themselves, to make money online, to work from home. I also do a lot of video marketing these days as well, okay? So that's just a little bit about me. So let's talk about the book creation process. And I've written a lot of books, and I know what it's like being in the trenches. And it's a lot, okay? So we're writing, we're researching, we're editing, we're formatting, we're proofing, we're putting images in the book. Last year, I focused heavily on print books. So that dealt with a lot of 300 DPI images. Our covers and descriptions are very important because, like I said earlier, those will help sell our books, because it doesn't matter if we don't have our cover. If our description is not good, then nobody's going to see our awesome content inside the book, right? So those things are very, very important. The links inside of our book, everything that goes in this book creation process. This sounds like a lot, but if you do this, if you are a writer, an author, a publisher, whatever it is, this is kind of like your comfort zone. This is where you're comfortable. This is what you like to do. You're used to it. But the second that you actually hit that publish button, well, now all this stuff is done. You have to take off your author cap and put on your marketing cap. And this is where a lot of people get uncomfortable. They're not in their zone anymore because they're not quite sure what to do. And there's so many things to do, what to do first, things like that. Okay. And one of the very first steps in marketing your book, you guessed it, it's getting reviews. That's one of the very first. The review process is actually a form of marketing, believe it or not, because that's when you're starting to actually get the word out about your book to people. And just because you're giving it away for free to get a review doesn't mean that it's not some form of marketing one way or another. Okay. And reviews are so important because reviews are the social proof that we need when purchasing practically anything. Okay. I'm not just talking about books anymore. Most buying decisions these days happen as a result of reviews. We read reviews for everything. Before eating at a restaurant, do you ever go out, if you're out of town and you're kind of looking for something to eat, do you just like walk outside and go to the first Thai restaurant you see? Probably not. You're probably either going on Yelp or you're getting some kind of word of mouth referral, right? Before buying an app, I can't tell you how many times I saved 99 cents because I read the reviews and said the app doesn't do what it promised, or it's not updated, or whatever it is, right? Before seeing a doctor, as you get older, or I'm experiencing this, you need to see specialists. And specialist is a whole business in itself. You need to see a knee doctor, you Google knee doctor, and the knee doctors are competing and trying to win your business. So what do? You go and read the reviews to see which ones are the best. Before getting a Groupon, right? Groupons are usually a kind of, bigger excursion sometimes. before watching a movie, before staying at a hotel. I will never ever stay at a hotel without reading the reviews first because frankly, I don't want to be sleeping with little critters at night. And guess what? The hotel's description is not going to tell you if they have a history of bed bugs, but the reviews will. And I'm sure you can think of 100 more things that you actually read the reviews for before you pull out your credit card and buy something. Okay, so this is the social world that we live in today, and there's no escaping it. So are reviews important? Well, when I first started this kind of whole process, I thought back to my college days to Psychology 101, and this term kind of came to mind, and it's called groupthink. And groupthink is the practice of thinking or making decisions as a group in a way that discourages creativity or individual responsibility. Okay, this just means that people are more likely to follow the crowd, right? There aren't too many people who will deviate because they don't want to do, they want to do what everyone else is doing. And they want to, if a whole bunch of people are doing something over here, those people are going to flock to whatever is going on, right? Because that's just human nature. So I use this example here all the time. And I have these two books here side by side, book number 1 and book number 2. And I've blocked out the cover and the title and the author name. So you can't really see that information. But if you were to just seeing this information right here, please go ahead and type into the questions box. Just from seeing this information that we can see here on the screen, which book would you gravitate towards looking into? Not even saying buying. I'm saying like which one would you start like scoping around the description and just getting more information about? Book number 1 or book number 2? Just from the information that you have here on the screen. Well, that's obvious. Yes. I mean, there's an overwhelmingly number 1 response here. And it's because we can see that more people are gravitating towards book number 1 because it has 274 reviews. Okay, that doesn't mean the book is great. It just has been reviewed way more than book number 1. Okay, and we're not even looking at the stars here. We're just looking at the number. And this points out something very interesting as well. And it shows us that the number or the quantity is also important. So the quality comes a little bit later. The quality of the review comes a little bit later because then you start to read more and find more stuff out. But the quantity plays a big role in the decision-making process as well. So the more reviews you have, the more people that are going to take that next step to look into your book some more. I don't write the rules. This is just how it is, okay? This is our world. All right, so I'm going to, because I can see there's a lot of authors, book publishers on this workshop today, right? Thanks, Yon. I just saw your comment. And I wanted to kind of explain this because Amazon just recently updated their review terms of service, okay? And that was a couple months ago, back in the end of 2016. And because, I'm in this business, I know this this stuff, and I want to share it with you. So we have here a picture of the kind of world of Amazon, and it's divided into 2. It's on the right, we have physical products, and on the left, we have books. And the 2 worlds are completely separate, okay? Completely different rules, different terms, different processes, different almost everything, okay? So on the right here, we have physical products, and the reviews specifically changed, or the term specifically changed for reviews on physical products, because Amazon is frankly I think they were getting nervous, because here's what was happening. People who are selling physical products, vendors who were selling physical products on Amazon, what they would do is they would say, here are 100 free widgets, right? Whatever they're selling, they would give it out for free in exchange for a review. Okay. And this is a big business too. I mean, there are free sites out there where people go on, they join, they want free products, and then they'll write a review. But here's the problem. The law of reciprocity kind of came into play here. And what that means is when you give something out for free, the person who is reviewing is more likely to leave a positive review than not. Okay, so what Amazon was experiencing was a flood of positive reviews on products, or fake reviews, or not authentic reviews. And this muddied the water and muddied the playing field, frankly, for vendors, because those people who had more reach, they would get the reviews, they would get more, conversions on their products, and it would mess with the algorithms, and it was just all messed up. So Amazon said, you know what? We are going to not allow vendors to give out their products for free anymore in exchange for reviews. The vendors are going to have to think of another way. And if the vendors still tried to play this game, then they're at risk of getting their account shut down, whatever it is, right? So no vendor wants that. There are other ways that vendors can get reviews. Like, for instance, they could put like an insert in their packaging, whatever it is, but you can't incentivize somebody to leave a review anymore, especially on the physical product side of things. Now we talk about books, and remember I said it's a completely different world. And if you think about it, if you are familiar with KDP Select, which is an exclusive Amazon program where Amazon lets you list your book for free in a 5-day period, within a 90-day period. Okay, so you get 5 days to list your book for free. That's a system that is actually built in to Amazon. So Amazon is saying, yes, you can give your book away for free in exchange for 2 things. Number 1, exposure. Okay, number 2, reviews. That's the whole point of the KDP program. Now, the physical product side of things, well, they don't have a system like that called KDP Select or anything like that. So that's why I say it's very different. So at the end of the day, just to make this very clear, on the book side of things, you are allowed to give your book out for free in exchange for a review. No problem there, okay? Just taking a sip of my drink here. So hopefully that is clear for you. Okay, so next we're moving on. We're going to talk about the 6 tasks that authors must do to get reviews. So 6 ways. Number 1 is the ASK method. Number 2 is the KDP way. Number 3 is the FFF way. Number 4 is the get your account banned way. Number 5 is the top 1000 way. And number 6 is the best way. So let's go through these. Okay, so number 1 is the ASK method. And this is the easiest method. And if you're already doing it, great. I'm going to go through it though because I have to. It's asking for a review inside of your book. So basically you're saying, hey, reader, I would really appreciate your feedback. And would you leave me an honest review? I always listen to my readers and what they have to say. whatever it is you want to say to them. Okay, you could be doing this 1 to 2 times inside of your book. And if you're not doing this, you're missing a huge opportunity. And it's very, very easy to do this. And then you just put a link to where you want them to write a review. Okay, so if it's on Amazon, you can do a link to Amazon. You can link to your blog. You can link wherever you want. Number 2 is the KDP way. So basically what this is you run KDP Select days and cross your fingers. So again, KDP Select allows you to list your book for free. You get 5 days within a 90-day period. Okay, and it's exclusive. That means that when you are enrolled in KDP Select, you cannot publish your book anywhere else. Like not on iBooks, not on Google Books, not anywhere. Okay? So that's kind of the trade-off that you have. So the idea is you get enough people, you run a promotion, you get enough people who are downloading your book, and then a combination of the ask method with the KDP Select method will allow you to get a percentage of people who will leave a review. Okay, so it's kind of like a numbers game at this point. So that's why I say you cross your fingers, because you're just playing the odds now. So the more people you get to download it, the more chances you're going to get them to read your book and then see your request. Okay. Number 3 is the FFF way, the friends, family, and Facebook way. So when I first started publishing back in 2010, 2011, us authors, we got very cute, and Amazon is aware of these tactics, so they don't really work anymore. But what we would do is we would go on like a Facebook page, different authors, because we didn't have groups back then. There were just pages, and we would say, hey, you review my book, I'll review your book, and we would swap reviews. And we would get our baseline, 5, 10 reviews that we would need to, give our book some credibility. And some of the promotional sites, you need like at least 5 reviews. So we would have them very, very easily. However, today, the atmosphere is a little bit different on Amazon because, again, Amazon does not want their marketplace flooded with fake reviews. And getting friends and authors to swap reviews isn't the most genuine way to get reviews, right? So if you have friends, family members who you want to review your book, it's fine, but you just cannot abuse this method. You can't say, hey, Aunt Sally, review every single book I write, and it doesn't even matter what your review says. You can't do that anymore because Amazon is very hip to that. They can actually track a lot more than you know about how you're sharing your links. They can track IP addresses. So if you're getting your mom, your dad, your aunt, your husband, your wife, your kids to review your book, Amazon is wise to this. So don't try to play them. If you're doing something wrong when it comes to this method. So don't do it. The only person who's going to hurt at the end of the day is you. Because, they might not have heard Amazon shutting down accounts, but the worst that can happen probably is they'll remove the review. So what's the point? So you got to just use this method sparingly and don't abuse it, okay? Number 4 is something you do not want to do. It's the get your account banned way, and it's to buy reviews. It's actually against Amazon's terms of service to buy reviews. And if you go on these outsourcing sites like Fiverr or Upwork and you type in review my Amazon book, you'll find all these people who are willing to review your book. And you do not want to take them up on this, because actually in October, this is where the whole mess kind of started to happen with the fake product reviews, and Amazon started to be like, oh, we're not going to be allowing this anymore. And they went ahead and they started to, sue vendors and sellers. And you just don't want to be messed up in this. And you definitely don't want to break the terms and conditions of Amazon, right? So these book reviews you cannot purchase, okay? There's only one type of book review that you can purchase, and those are from reputable companies that Amazon says, yeah, sure, you can buy reviews from these reputable companies. Kirkus Reviews being one of them. There's Forward Reviews. There's probably a couple of others. There's not that many though. But when you get to a point where you want to deal with these companies, because these companies, Kirkus, they've been reviewing books since traditional publishing, so they're very respected, and they're serious. They mean serious business. So if you're buying a review and you're paying about $425 or so for these specific reviews, which go in the editorial review section, by the way. They don't go in the Amazon review section. And you can also put them on your blog. You can put them on your inside of your book, on your cover, whatever it is you want. But you better be at least 2 editors deep. You better have a very, very professional cover. And you better have good grammar and everything, your I's dotted, your T's crossed, everything. Because you don't want to spend $425 for just to get feedback of, you don't have the correct formatting, or you have sloppy grammar. You don't want that type of review, right? So you want to be very, very sure that your book is ready for a very professional review, because these people, they don't give you a second chance. All right. So that if you're going to buy a review, that's the only type of review that you should buy from these reputable companies. Number 5 is the top 1,000 way, I call it. And honestly, I have never done this before because it's just too overwhelming for me to even try this process. But the idea is to contact the top 1,000 reviewers on Amazon. And I think that it's more of a waste of time, but I always get this question, and there's always people who kind of want to try this out. So I talk about it here. And I think there's more downside than up. But these people get bombarded with requests, number 1. Number 2 is they might not be targeted. So if your book is science fiction and you're reaching out to somebody who only reviews romance, then that's not going to work. And when you need reviews, you need them yesterday. So a lot of times these people aren't going to have free time right away. You're going to have to wait months and months and months anyway. Sure, if you can get it, that's great. But it might take you some time, okay? So number 6 is the best way. So we're finally here. And the reason why you see a kind of a beachy scene, stormy scene here is it was 2012 when I actually came up with the idea to do this, because 2012 I started to write fiction. And I have 3 fiction books that I've written under, all my stuff is under a pen name, so you won't be able to find it. And I genuinely needed and wanted real reviews for my book. I didn't want authors, friends giving me just reviews to review. I really wanted a review of my work. Okay, this is where I was branching out, right? And I don't give away that's another thing. Like, I had somewhat of a following around that time, and I didn't want to be like, oh, this is my book, this is my pen name, and tell the world. I just wanted to keep it separate and private and really develop the pen name, the character. Okay, so it just so happens that Superstorm Sandy hit my town at that time, October 2012, and I remember thinking about this idea. I was upstairs because we had to live upstairs after the storm because the whole first floor was being redone, and it was a mess. So that was my life for about 3 months, but I still got stuff done, so no worries there. And now I have beautiful tile floors that look like wood and with radiant heat. So thank you, insurance. So, some good came out of that in the end, I guess, right? So what I was doing is I was like, okay, how am I going to get reviews for my book? So I'm just going to use the paleo diet here as an example. So I would type in my niche into Amazon, and I would say, wow, look at all these books that are in my niche, and look at all the people that are reviewing these books. These are the exact people who I need to review my books. This one has 846 reviews. This one has 105. This one 706. This one 250. Wow. Those are the exact people that I need to reach out to review my book. Why? Because they're highly, highly targeted people to contact for a variety of reasons. They already write reviews, so I don't have to explain, oh, go here, click here, write the review. This is how you write a review. I don't need to do that. They already do it. They understand the importance of reviews, again, because they're already doing it. They know the process, right? And most importantly, they've raised their hand and said they are interested in this topic already. I mean, who better on the planet to review your book than people who have already reviewed books in your niche? I cannot think of anyone else. Okay, and there are tons of them here. Tons of them. So I did some digging, and as you know, when you go ahead and you click this 846 or 105 or 706, whatever it is, that's a hyperlink, you get to a page that looks like this. And there are about, on the first page, it varies. I don't know how many there are. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. And you could see that this person, this Gigi, that's a hyperlink. This Amy Small, that's a hyperlink. So you can actually click on these people to dig a little bit more. Okay, so when you actually click on that hyperlink, you see this. You see like a profile. Okay, so some people have more of a filled out profile than other people, and everyone on Amazon, whether you know it, like it or not, we all have profiles. And again, you can show certain things on your profile. You could hide certain things on your profile. Some people have, like, look, Marianne Field, she's got a whole description about herself. She's got a picture. And then there are some people who have absolutely nothing, right? So we go here. This is another example, Walter Wright. There's absolutely no way, there's no contact information for Walter Wright. So it would be impossible to find Walter Wright to write you a review, right? It would be, you can go and try to find him on social media, but that would be really crazy stalker-like activity. So I wouldn't recommend it. So this is what I was finding when I was doing some digging. I was finding some Walters, I was finding some Mariannes, and everyone in between, right? Here's another one. Julie Whitley has a full description about herself, right? And what she likes to review, everything like that. And looky here, she's got a Facebook, a Twitter, a Pinterest, an Instagram, and a website. Amazing. So if we wanted to contact Julie, we would have a very easy time doing that. Now here's Tiffany. Tiffany doesn't have much of a description and she doesn't have even a picture, but look at this. She's got a Twitter and she's got an email address. So if we wanted to email Tiffany, we would be able to do that, okay? So I was going through these people and I was finding something very, very interesting about these people or reviewers, and I call them influencers, okay? I call them influencers because these people are just real people, okay? They're not like marketers. They're not looking for anything in return. They just want to share cool stuff with their community, with their friends, and they want to, make people laugh. They want to share cool things, and they will social share. They will blog post, they will share in their book clubs, they will tell their friends, they will write reviews. Some of them will even make you video reviews, which is really, really cool. Okay. And these reviewers, they want to get the word out. Again, they're not looking for anything in exchange for their review. They just like to share, okay? And these people actually do exist and they're hiding inside of Amazon. So here's an influencer example number 1. The reviewer or influencer responded within minutes and left a review that to this day is the number 1 review that keeps getting voted as most helpful to anyone who reads it. Okay, this is real feedback from somebody who reached out to one of these influencers and they left a review in minutes. Okay, example number 2, reviewer or influencer had a Facebook group with over 2,000 people and shared the reviewed book with their entire audience. And the author got instant exposure. Okay, normal people, not even marketers, they just have a Facebook group of 2,000 targeted people who they shared the book with. Pretty amazing, right? Influencer example number 3, reviewer or influencer was a member of a book club and told everyone to buy the book. There were about 100 members. All right, again, instant exposure. Really, really cool and really powerful. So the problem here, though, is that the influencers are hiding on Amazon and very, very hard to find. Okay, so how do you find these people? I kind of showed you what the process is, but let me kind of define that again. So it's an exhausting process. So first you have to go to the book, right? We go to the book. Next, we find, we see that they have reviews. Good, check. Number 2, we click each name. We have to click the name. Next, there's another little step that we couldn't really see, but there's a see more button here. So we have to actually click that to see if they even have contact information. If they have an email, we would have to actually open this. This is a hyperlink. So it opens up an email client to email that person. Number 5 is, let's say we wanted to make like a list, make our own database. We would have to copy the email, the website, and all the social links onto a spreadsheet. And then number 6 is that we would have to get enough people to review our book. We would probably have to repeat this process about 10,000 times. So not very fun and very exhausting. So imagine you had to do this for all these books. 298, 467, 2,815, 1,352. So these are it's like gold, but it would take forever for you to actually find all these people to get a hold of them. It would take you or an outsourcer hours upon hours, days upon days to get this information. You would need to hire a team of people, and I don't know about you, but most small businesses don't have these kinds of resources to hire somebody full time to do this all day long. You just wouldn't see the return on your investment right away. And a lot of times small business owners, they're hiring people who are doing a lot of other important work inside of the business, and this is kind of like, all right, this is kind of like a luxury thing that you, if you had the money to spare, to hire somebody to do this. So I would say that most people cannot do this and shouldn't do this because it's very, very expensive. Or you can be a nut job like me and say, I really want this done, and find a way that you can actually automate this entire process. So what sounds better to you, to do it manually or to automate it? That's kind of a rhetorical question, but most people here would say automate for sure. Okay. So this is where I want to share with you what I have built and been working at for quite a while now. And it's a tool, it's a nifty tool called Book Review Targeter. And it finds reviewers on Amazon who have reviewed specific books on autopilot. So would you like to kind of see how this works? Take a quick sip of my drink here. Just let me know if you're interested. All right, we got a lot of yeses. Thank you, Dirk, Frank, Ronald, Michael, Sion, Mark, Nathan. Thank you, Salema, AD. Cool. All right, so let's get into it. So I'm gonna just jump out. I'm gonna say and show. And I'm going to go here. All right. So what I need to do is just move that over so you can't see my best see desktop. Okay. Okay, so this is Book Review Targeter. Okay, and earlier I did a search here for children's books by age 5 to 8, right? And these are the results that come up. So if I want to just clear the results, what you can do here is you can actually type in you can type in a keyword, you can type in your niche, you can type in an ASIN number for a specific book that you want to extract. So the idea here is you want to find related books, okay? That's the whole idea. So if we're going for the paleo diet, well, paleo cookbook, that's probably a really good suggestion, right? So we would go here and we would find, here's that book that I always use as an example. It's now has over 1,000 reviews. Okay, so if we go here, we scroll down and we can see all these reviews that we can extract here. So you see some of these are grayed out. That just means I already ran those books. So the software knows if you already ran those books, you already have those books in your account. So if I wanted to run this one, I could just press that. And what this does is it goes through Amazon and it goes through all of these profiles and it throws out the people who don't have contact information and it gives you the ones that do. So is this an instantaneous process? Absolutely not. So what you would do is you would just find the books that you would want to run. Let's say I want to run this one, I want to run this one, and then you go away. You do other work, you walk the dog, you cook dinner, whatever it is, and the system does what it has to do in the background. And once it is done, you will get some sort of notification, and then you will see that your books will be here inside of the reviewers tab right here. And the ones that have contact information, let's say like this one, you can see that it has email. You can see that it has, this one has a website, and you can also see the review, which is really cool. And you can also go to the profile if you wanted to. So at this point, you might be saying, well, Debbie, this looks great, but okay, I have all the contact information, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of work to contact these people still. Well, it's not, because what you do from here is we made it very, very easy for you to go ahead and extract the contact information from here and put it into a nice CSV file. So I'm just going to go over and jump to the CSV file so that you can see this quickly. And this is just an example here of one particular book. And what I like to do, and I show you how to do this inside, is to use Google Spreadsheets. Google, because it's pretty amazing, and you could access it from anywhere. You could rearrange your data. You could work with sheets. I absolutely love Google Docs. Okay, and I've blocked out the email here just for privacy. And why I like Google Docs is that we have this add-on here, and it's a free add-on, and it's called Yet Another Mail Merge. And once you have all of your contact information inside of this CSV file, you can literally email up to 50 people a day for free without any kind of spam issues or anything like that through this system, and you can do it in less than 5 minutes. So let me show you how. So first, I just want to show you what the results here look like. So some people will have email, some people will have websites, and we'll talk about these social links in a second or a little bit later on. But a lot of these people also have their social links. So we give you that information right in the data here. And this is cool too, because we also give you the number of stars and the actual review. So let's say one of these had like 1 star. Well, let's say that this had 1 star. You can just remove that person from your spreadsheet, because you probably don't want to be contacting somebody who has left a 1-star review. Okay, probably not. Sometimes it's justified and sometimes it's not, right? So what I also do is I show you the type of message, and this is very, very important, communicating with the reviewer, okay? And I take this very, very seriously, because we don't want to be spamming people, okay? The system is not about spamming people. It's about sending a very friendly message to somebody you don't know and asking them for a favor. Okay, so that, see the tone of my voice, it's very light, it's very airy. So whatever you learned about copywriting and psychology, like, throw it out the window right now. Now it's just being cordial, it's just being genuine. That's how these messages should sound. So just listen to the tone of my voice. Hey there, my name is, author name, and I noticed that you reviewed the book, name of the book. I hope you don't mind me reaching out to you, but if you liked that book, then you might also love my newest book, name of the book, because it's in a similar category as the book you already reviewed. You see, I'm looking for reviews on Amazon so that I can get some feedback from readers, people just like you. I would greatly appreciate it if you would check out my book and leave me a review. I would value your opinion. Okay, and then you kind of leave the link or however you want them to respond to you. So you see how I'm not asking them to buy anything. I'm not asking them to opt in anywhere. I'm not giving them any incentive to review my book. This is the type of message that you should be sending people, okay? Because it's genuine. And anytime you're asking people that have not given you permission to email them, anytime you're asking them to do something like buy something, then you're breaking the terms of service. And that's not something that we want to do. We don't want to, make anybody mad. We don't want to make the reviewer mad. We don't want to make Amazon mad. All right. So you see these brackets here? Well, these brackets are going to correspond with these column headers right here. So once we set up our template here, right, it's going to correlate with whatever information we wanted to automatically fill in. And that's why this makes it very, very fast. And that's why I love this add-on tool called YAM. And that's why I use it. It's really, really cool. So sometimes people ask me, well, what if I have like different pen names? What should I do? Well, you can always go ahead and you can insert a column here and you can call it pen name. And then you could, put in whatever. Joan Spears. Okay. So that's just its own column here. It's overlapping here. Okay. So you can put in a pen name, and then what you would do is you would sign the pen name and just make sure that pen name bracket matches the pen name here, okay, which it does. So that's all you would need to do. So if you wanted to add any more information here and put that in the brackets and have the mail merge kind of fill that in for you, you can easily do that. You can put in the link. It's very, very easy. So I give you these templates as well. But that's it. That's really all there is to it. It's getting the information from the system, which is the hardest part, which we do for you, and then going ahead and just managing your data and pretty much contacting the people. See, what I also don't do here is, you see in my template, I say, hey there. Normally, I don't use the name that Amazon gives me because that is a big tip-off that you're spamming or you're mass emailing. Because some of the names say like Frugal Mom or Amazon Reader, right? So you don't want to do that. That's why I usually don't use the name column. If you want to spend time and find their real name and put it in your spreadsheet, go for it if you want to do that. No problem there, okay? So I'm going to jump back to the PowerPoint here. And wasn't that really, really easy, and wasn't that way easier than doing it manually? Yeah, for sure. Cool. Great feedback. So I just want to share with you, we've been running this tool for about a year and a half now, and I want to share with you what some customers have been saying about Book Review Targeter. They say that it's an incredible product. Richard says, super easy. I give it 10 stars. Terrence says, through Book Review Targeter, I have gained almost 60 new reviews for my first novel. This is very significant progress, and I salute the program. Tower says this is a great tool for indie writers, saves hours of time spent sifting through emails. Carolina says, I was able to use the tool right away and got a list of 400 potential reviewers for my books very, very quickly. 400, like that. David says, no more spamming Facebook groups with free book swaps and other questionable and frankly unfruitful methods. David was around when we were doing those Facebook swaps. Janice says the software saves massive amounts of time by quickly and efficiently locating the very readers most likely to review your book on Amazon. Very, very true. So who sees how this gives authors the upper hand when it comes to getting real feedback from real reviewers and not just people giving us reviews to do us a favor? Very, very powerful. There's nothing like this on the market that has the power of Book Review Targeter. There's a very, very simple thing. It's very complicated what we do, but it's, it doesn't sound like it's complicated, but it is. It is. So my goal for you is to offer a super simple, no-brainer deal for you to use starting today. So here is what you're going to get with the Book Review Targeter package. It's instant access to the Book Review Targeter tool, and it works both on PC and Mac because it's web-based software. There's nothing to download. Personally, I love web-based stuff because I don't like downloading stuff. Instant access to millions of reviewers waiting to review your books. It exports to keep track of your reviewers. The email templates to contact reviewers faster. There's a member area login credential, so you get your own account. All updates are included. Now, this is something that we don't just, we didn't just build once. Hold on one second. Had to sneeze. We didn't just build this and then we just let it ride. This takes constant effort from my team to keep it updated because we're working with Amazon. Full step-by-step training to get started very quickly, and ultimately your time. It saves hundreds of hours of time that your time or your outsourcer's time, so you don't have to be paying somebody to do this. So the total value of this is $997. So in looking to kind of what price to offer this to you, I wanted to do some research. So I looked at these quotes. So I said, I went to my favorite outsourcing site, or one of my favorite outsourcing sites called guru.com. And I said, I have this book and it has 5,094 reviews. And it was one book, okay, like 5,000 reviews. And I made them a video of how to get all that contact data manually. Okay, remember I showed you that slide, the first thing, the second thing, the third thing you have to do, and then make me a database, give me an Excel spreadsheet of all the ones with contact information, the ones that have emails, the one that have websites, and all the social links. Okay, it's one book. So I said, give me a quote. How much would it cost? So first guy says $250 and it would take 3 days. Second one says $200 and it would take 5 days. Okay, this is one book. Next one says $110. Okay, a little bit less expensive, but it would take a week. Okay, and this is just one book. And remember, just because a book has 5,094 reviews doesn't mean you're getting 5,094 people with contact information. Okay, the results definitely vary. Sometimes there's more people with contact information than others, but you can come out of this with 100 people. That doesn't mean that you're going to be getting a ton of people just because a book has a lot of reviews. Remember, some people have contact information on their account and some people don't. So there's no guarantees here. Okay? So 10 books searched manually, you'll easily be paying $1,000 plus on the low end, and it will take weeks to get this completed. easily. But here's the kicker. You can't even check their work. So they can come back to you and say, here's all the stuff, pay me, and you can't check their work. I mean, you could spot check, but it would be very, very hard to do that because then you would just have to do the work yourself, right? So I can easily charge $997, but it's worth a whole lot more. This is value, very, very valued information that we have here, okay? So again, with the book review targeter, it works both on Mac and PC. It's nothing to download, web-based. You get instant access to a ton of targeted people to contact, exports to keep track, the email templates, the login credentials, all the updates, step-by-step training, and your time. $997 value, and you can if you only got this, it'd be worth every single penny, okay? But I am going to make this a complete package for you, and if you don't know me, you might not, but anything that I add extra will only enhance your ability to get better reviews here. So I'm not just like throwing stuff from left field. This is all part of the process. So the fast action bonus number 1, it's limited while this offer is open, is what I call the link review juicer method. Okay, this is a little known but powerful strategy to get an 18% or more increase in reviews when you put a special link inside of your book. Okay, so remember the ask method. Remember I talked about that, and I talked about putting a link inside of your book. Well, here's what most people do, and I've made this mistake too. They put a link to their book's buy page. Okay? And you can write a review from the book's buy page. However, not everybody really knows that. Okay? Only savvy Amazon people will know how to write a review. So if you get someone who wants to write a review, but they're like, wait, where do I write it? Where do I go? I'm not quite sure. Then you're in trouble because you just might have lost that review. So what I show you is I give you a special link that links directly to this. It's where you actually press the number of stars and you write your review. Okay, this is the link that you want to use. You don't want to link back to your book buy page. You want to link to this. So that's bonus number 1. Bonus number 2 is, remember I talked to you about Amazon removing reviews and the FFF, Friends, Family, Facebook method? Well, I'm going to show you the reason why reviews are probably being removed so that you could avoid doing this. And hint, it's mostly in the linking structure. So if you're getting your link for your book in a specific way, you're tipping off Amazon and they're able to follow your every move. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get your link so you're giving Amazon the least amount of information about you as possible. Okay, this is a $97 value. Fast action bonus number 3, limited while the offer is open, is, now, as I said, we're giving inside, we have really coveted information. Okay, this is like a secret society. And I'm going to show you how to make money above and beyond your increased book sales, like how to grow your social media following, how to pick up new clients, how to make custom audiences, how to sell products and services. And I give you, now we're not talking about how to do this directly, but remember, we're meeting very powerful influencers. And one person that you can find from Book Review Targeter can change your life. Okay? It can change your life. Because there could be somebody inside who says, hey, I run this conference and I would love for you to speak at my conference. And here, I'm going to give you money for that. And I'm going to give you free travel and hotel. And that's why you can make money above and beyond just the book sales of just having more reviews. This goes even deeper than that. And I show you exactly how that works. Fax action bonus number 4, limited while the offer is open. So you get also virtual assistant access. So even though the process is very easy, well, you might still want to outsource this entire process. So your virtual assistant can do this work for you. Okay, you get email templates. We also have a Facebook group. And in the Facebook group, we don't really nerd out on publishing stuff. We really just talk about reviews in that book, in that group. Okay, so it's and also we get like really literally up to the minute notifications about any changes in policies that Amazon should make. So we're kind of like really on the cutting edge. And then the fourth thing is the social links, which is a fairly new feature that we've introduced. And we also add that too. So you can connect with people through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. Okay. So the kind of the top 5 social media platforms there that you get. So you're getting access to the book review targeter tool and all the updates, which is a $997 value. The bonus one is a link juicer method. Remember that special link that that you should be linking to get your reviews. Bonus number 2, avoid getting reviews removed. Bonus number 3 is how to make money above and beyond the increased book sales just from getting those the more reviews. And bonus number 4 is VA access, the Facebook group, and the social links, all for a real world value of over $2,000. There's more. That's not all, because I really, really want to make this a really no-brainer deal for you. One more bonus is I have this little training on how to handle getting bad reviews. So sometimes we have to deal with trolls, we like to call them. And how do you deal with that? Because a review is pretty much there forever, right? So how do you overcome somebody who leaves you a negative review? We go through that. That's a $97 value. And then finally here, last but not least, you get access to me every single month, because I do a group coaching session where we strategize, you can ask questions, we chat, we talk about ideas. So a lot of times we are talking about book review targeter and some of the processes and some of the questions that people have. But we also talk about marketing stuff. We talk about, anything that you would want to know from somebody who's been marketing online for 7 years now. So, which is really, really crazy that I just said that out loud, because it's a long time. But yeah, so you would get that access every single month, which is cool. We love those sessions. They're very, very intimate, and everybody gets their questions answered. Sometimes I always do a GoToWebinar session like this, and sometimes I do a Facebook Live as well. So I kind of do both things for you inside the group. So again, all this stuff plus the live monthly Q&A plus how to handle the negative reviews, over $2,000 real world value. So what are little to no reviews costing you? Well, number 1, people just passing your listing by because there's no social proof. Your time, manually trying to find needles in haystacks or finding targeted needles in haystacks is even harder. And number 3, the stress in knowing you have to get this done. It's mentally exhausting. If you ignore this, well, your book is probably not going to sell very well. It's something that you kind of can't ignore when you're trying to sell something. You need reviews, you need testimonials, and that's what sells your product at the end of the day. So how much? I can easily charge what the real world value is, but I will not do that. I can also charge what the tool should cost, just kind of on its own, $9.97. I won't do that either. I can also charge half of that, which would be very, very fair if I did that. Okay, it would be very, very fair, and I'm sure that I would have people paying that for sure, but I won't do that either. So for you today, the special deal, go ahead and click the link right now in the description to be taken to how you can purchase Book Review Targeter. Oh, thanks, Mark. Mark says sold. All right, very, very cool. So you basically have two choices right now. The first option is to do nothing and stay status quo, where you are getting little to no results with ineffective methods. And the second option is you get access to our secret society, where you have targeted people just waiting to review your books that would have never found your book in the first place if it weren't for this powerful tool for Book Review Targeter. All right. I do want to share with you what Alicia told me, and I always get feedback from customers and people kind of in the trenches doing this, and that's actually how I learned about YAM from the yet another mail merge tool, was from somebody who told me about it. Okay, and Alicia says, it seems people like to leave their reviews on the weekend because as soon as I sent you my report, my reviews doubled 4 hours later. Now I have a total of 9 reviews on Amazon. Plus, some of the persons I contacted blogged about my book while sharing my review on Twitter, Facebook, and Goodreads. My author page on Goodreads now has 6 ratings and 4 reviews and 3 quotes for my book, which, as you know, started out as 0. Oh, and I figured out a bit late how to grow my social media following in a non-intrusive manner. I am loving the ripple effects. So, yeah, I mean, this is the whole reason why whenever I do this process, I always have my kind of free days in the middle of the week, and I give people the weekend to write their reviews, because most people will write their reviews on the weekend. All right. So, so this was great feedback that I got very early on. So go ahead and get this deal, because it does expire on Sunday at midnight Eastern, 11:59. So this does go away, and you do have a very limited time to go ahead and get this deal. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to okay, Nathan says no, if you go to the regular website, all this stuff is not included. That's why it is the same price, but that's why this is a special deal, because you have all these other bonuses and stuff. So congratulations, Michael. For how long is the software valid, and can we rely on it? Yeah, you sure can, because I mean, as long as Amazon, see, I'll tell you one thing, as long as Amazon has contact information, then we're able to extract it, which we do find that It's very important for Amazon to have this. They have not gotten done away with it for a very, we've been doing this for a very long time. So Amazon seems to think it's important for people to connect with one another. So, and also this information is public. It's public information. It's not anything that's private. So you're literally getting an upper hand when you use this tool. So it's basically an upper hand because you don't have to do it manually. You're getting the same exact information that anybody else gets in the world. You're just getting it faster. Okay? Go ahead and ask your questions, Akbar. No problem. That's what we're here for, right? Mark says purchased. Yep, that's the link, Akbar. Available till Sunday, Nicholas. Sunday at 11:59. Kim, it's available until Sunday. Sunday. It's a one-time payment, correct? Right. Okay. So, good question. You said that you've been using the software for a year. Well, it's been almost over a year. Okay. Has anyone had issues with spam after using the software? You mentioned you can only send out 50 emails a day before spam. Okay. That's with Yam. That's with yet another mail merge. Okay. That you can only send out 50. However, you can use your own autoresponder or CRM, customer relationship management software, where you can send out more. You're only getting that 50 limitation with using like a Gmail email. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, there's no issues with spam if you're not spamming, right? The way that I showed you to communicate with somebody is not spam. Here's the issue. Sometimes we can communicate something properly, like I showed you, but still be spam. Well, how does that happen? Okay, this is how it happens. Amazon, or Google, I should say, has kind of trigger words. So if you're writing like hardcore erotica, and you're using words in your email like erotica type words, that might be triggered. Okay, that's the only other reason I found that someone kind of got into, not trouble, but an issue with that. So you kind of have to be careful with what you're saying inside of your email, like those trigger words. All right. Kyle, no. This is already a killer price. There, like I said, there's tons and tons of stuff that we do behind the scenes, and there's a lot of costs associated with running this tool. So this is the lowest we can go. Okay. Kevin, congratulations. Welcome inside. How many upgrades of the software have you released in the past year and a half? A million. A lot. We've released a lot. We're constantly honing in on our process. Yeah, hopefully, Rose, there will be a replay for sure. Is there any customer service to answer questions? There's no phone. Well, you can write your questions here, Akbar. We don't really have phone sales. Let me just see. Kyle says, is YAM included? YAM is a free add-on by Google Spreadsheets. Okay, so it's not part of my software. It's just a third-party tool that I recommend. Okay. Let's see. I have a question. So do you need a special email service like Aweber or anything like that? You can use YAM, yet another mail merge, if you want to use the free option. However, if you do want to get into maybe emailing more people and importing those people if you can, then you can take that to the next level, Sion, but it's not necessary, okay? Nathan says, how long is the turnaround time? Usually it's within a day. Sometimes if we are experiencing some issues, it could happen take a little bit longer than that. And I only say that to be honest with you because we work with Amazon, and whenever Amazon changes something, they don't necessarily call us over the phone to tell us that they changed something. So anything, we try to be as proactive as possible, but not everything can be proactive when Amazon changes something, okay? So if something changes and our system breaks, we have to fix it, and we usually fix it pretty quickly, but that can slow things down a little bit, So that sometimes happens, and it's only because it's the nature of the tool. Fernando says, great presentation. When having more reviews, does it help you rank higher in the search list of Amazon Kindle? I've heard varying things about this, and I think it used to. I don't think the number of reviews actually helps you rank. It's more your conversions that helps you rank. So in essence, the reviews help there, right? Because if your reviews are selling your book and the people who visit your book listing buy, then your conversions will be high, and then Amazon will reward you for that. But Amazon won't reward you because you have 40 reviews and then another person has 5 reviews. They're not going to reward you because the conversion rates play a role in that more so than anything. Dots, yes, there's definitely more training when you're inside. I also do a complete training also. There's usually a lot of questions when it comes to how to deliver your book to a potential reviewer, because remember, we give our books away for free when we ask for a review, right? Because it would just be weird if we say, hey stranger, I need a review, can you buy my book, right? So I give you a bunch of options on how you can actually deliver your book in the easiest way possible to potential reviewers, okay? That's probably the best training there is in there. Can you use your software with Gmail? Yes. Do you normally send out the email to these people during your free promo on KDP? That's the best way to do it, but it's definitely not the only way to do it, Jeff. And that's what I was talking about before in relation to how I show you how to actually deliver your book when you ask for a review. Yes, you're always giving the product away for free. Always. Always, always, always. All right? It's very important. How many users share their insights on your private Facebook group? A lot of them do, and people are always sharing the strategies that are working, because it's just that type of environment that we have in there. Like I said, it's like a secret society. Very awesome people in that group. All right, let me know if you are in. I see more people that are coming in. Mark says, can't wait to get started. Can you please explain the link review juicer method? I don't understand. Right, so the link juicer method is just a special link, like it's a special linking structure that links people directly to where they write the review. So when you say, hey, click this link to review my book, a lot of people will have that link go directly to the book listing page, and you don't want that. You want the link going to where that person should write the review, because it just makes sense, right? Click this link, write the review. Not click this link and go on a treasure hunt of where to actually write your review. So that's what that is. Okay, so Gorkin says, I have a few pen names under different emails. Is that possible? What I would do is I would make one general email, like reviews at whatever.com, like maybe your author name or your website, whatever it is, or your book name. Get like a general email, and then do what I showed you about adding the pen name and putting the pen name in when you sign your email. This way you don't have to use 5 different emails for 5 different pen names. You could just use one email, and that will do the trick. Okay, that's what I recommend. All right. Congratulations, Jack. Akbar says, you're in. Please tell me how many hours I need to spend every day with it. I would say, you can do some searches every day just to get the results, and, try to send at least 50 a day. You don't have to spend tons and tons of time on this, though. As long as you're actively contacting people, then it should be fine. Okay. Bonus 4, social links. So social links is a pretty new feature that Amazon introduced. And what that is just people can put in their social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, or YouTube. And that's just another way that you can connect with people, because sometimes they don't have their email address and they don't have a website, but they have their social links, and that's sometimes just as powerful. So when you use to connect with people through your program, do you need to have a different social media profile? No, you would just use your own profile. You wouldn't need a different one. Thank you, Sion. Hope I'm saying your name right. I don't know if it's Sean, like spelled a special way. Yeah, unfortunately, you run into some issues when you do have a lot of pen names and different social accounts, things like that. That's why I learned that a while ago, and I kind of stopped having a bunch of pen names. That's why I only have one pen name for the fiction books that I write. So I'm really only managing 2 names, which is that one and my real name. Once you get into managing a lot of pen names, then things can get a little hectic and confusing and crazy. So if you might want to have some help there, or consider, consolidating. How come I don't have a heavy New York accent? That's because I did a lot of work in the Midwest, and I was told to ditch the accent because so I wouldn't really stand out that I was from New York. Because a lot of people, I think, from the Midwest, like where I was visiting, they didn't really care to hear the New York accent. So I tried to stay as neutral as possible, if that makes any sense. The general response rate of reviewers, that really, really depends on the quality of your book. Okay, and that's a great question, Terry, because you do raise a point that I kind of forgot to mention, or not forgot. It's just a lot of things that I need to cover on this workshop, so it depends. Like sometimes I leave stuff out, but the templates that I give you, that's what it is. It's a template, okay? And to make that template a little bit more effective, you don't have to go crazy, but to make it a little bit more effective, you can write a little snippet of something personal, of maybe why you wrote the book, or what the book means to you, or what people have said about the book, or what inspired you to write the book. Whatever it is, you want to add some type of personal, I don't want to say story, because then you run into making the email way too long, which you don't want. Remember, people have very limited time and they don't want to read a whole email from a stranger, So you need that balance of, yeah, you want to say what the template says, but you also kind of want to include something personal. So the more compelling you are, the better response rate you're going to get. If at the end of the day, if you have a not so great book, then your response rate might not be that great. Okay. So yeah, the monthly coaching is once per month, 45 minutes. And that's where you can go ahead and ask your questions. Does it matter which genre? No, it doesn't. It works. It pretty much works in any genre that has other books, any related books. With your personal experience, what is the most important tactic to build a relationship with the people that you email using the program? Like I said, it's just being genuine and being light and airy, and you don't want to hard sell anything. And if you're going to follow up, just follow up, very cordially and not too aggressive. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a nice balance of, contacting someone, asking them for a favor. Don't make it a complicated process. Make it a very simple process for people. See, that's the thing. At the end of the day, you're still asking someone to do you a favor. And when you ask somebody to do you a favor, you want to make the whole process as simple as possible for them. So if you're like, well, you got to go over here and get this over here and over there and over there, and you want to make it the most seamless, most easy process just for someone to get your book, read it, and write a review. If you make it too complicated, then they're just not going to do it. So think easy, breezy, okay? Yes, it definitely will help your Kindle book reviews for sure. All right, so we are going to start to wrap up. And if you are on the fence for whatever reason, know that whatever you are selling online, whether it's a book, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, you always need reviews and or testimonials. Okay, it's very important because it's the social proof component of any type of sales process. If you watch any type of high level sales process on TV, online, and even your own buying process, look at what you do when you buy something, right? Do you just buy it, or do you see what other people are saying? Do you want to see their results? Do you want to see the outcome? And it's amazing how the world that we live in today, how people are taking the advice from absolute strangers before they pull out their credit card to buy something. It's really, really crazy. And the more that you start to notice this in yourself, the more that you will actually do this. And that's the crazy part, because if you're like me and you go on Amazon and you want to buy something like a physical product and you read the reviews and you see one good review after another, then your radar is going to go up now, because you're going to notice why Amazon actually changed their policy. And they changed their policy because they were looking out for the customer. They do not want to have a marketplace that nobody trusts, right? And when people are going to start to become wise to, well, what's a real review and what's a fake review? And you'll see that these real reviews are detailed and they have a little bit of effort put into them, right? You'll start seeing that right away. And the kind of reviews that you're going to be getting from these targeted people are going to be those real detailed reviews. Because remember, these people, these strangers, aren't going to be writing reviews for us for a favor, because what are they don't even know us. So they're going to be reviewing the book because they want to review the book because they're interested in that niche. And that's the whole point of this. You're finding highly, highly targeted people to review your book. People who actually are interested in the topic. They're interested in the subject. They've already raised their virtual hand and said, yes, I'm interested. All right. So that's the kind of people that you're finding through this system. And that's why this is very, very exciting. And that's why this is working for a lot of people. And it's the best way to get those targeted reviews that you're looking for. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me on this workshop, and I'll see you on the next one.